Hey YouTube, it's BudgetBugout. Well, I reached out to Schrade because I know they have new items in their 2014 lineup that they're trying to get reviews on. So I now have, I was sent a few items for review, and I've been EDCing their Pocketknife, and I've been outside thumping on their Tomahawk and their fixed blade knife. So now I'm going to talk to y'all about what I've learned, what my likes and what my dislikes were, what my overall impressions were, as well as some different competitive options. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Schrade SCHA5, and I have the version that is non-serrated, just has a plain edge, and it has a brown handle right here. And then I'm going to also just mention the stats that I think are important. I'll leave the stats and links and all that stuff, but for both the Schrade items as well as some of the competitive options in the description box below. So check that out for more information. Actually, I really like the ergonomics, although they are a little bit different than the ergonomics on, let's say, like the Kershaw Clash. See, if you hold both of these handles straight up, see how this one is a lot more angled, and this one I'm actually not holding up all the way. This one's a lot more angled. So that I thought was pretty cool. And the grip feels really good, to be honest. It would be nice if there were some more like jimping, or if this was wider, the handle, or just a way for it to be a little bit more comfortable on the thumb if you're like really pressing down hard or whatever. Also, there's kind of a sort of like a swedge on the upper spine where it gets real thin. If you can see how thin it gets right up here. So like if you had to really choke up on it and really push down hard on it, it could hurt your thumb. So there's just some some observations. It does have some sort of a rubberized ramp type of thing on the handle, which I'm not sure what that does. But I guess it can give you more traction in the grip. Although I haven't really found that it made any difference in any way that I could notice. The blade steel on this is AUS-8 steel. And this steel is used on a lot of not Kershaw, but cold steel knives. These are some of the more popular options that cold steel has. This is the AK-47, and this is the Recon one, and these are both really good sellers in the cold steel lineup, and great steel, and it's what this uses as well. So it's proven its merit as far as a good steel to have and to use. So those are some of the things I like, right? And the reverse grip actually feels really comfortable as well. Oh, and one other thing before I get into the cons, I really like that it has a safety right here. You can leave it on, leave it off. It doesn't really matter. However you want to carry it. But one thing that people who might not be knife guys, they might be afraid of having a knife in their pocket that could do something like that. You know what I mean? So for those people who are concerned, there is a safety mechanism right there. So the red dot, just like with a firearm, means that it's ready to spring out. It's more dangerous. And then if it's no red dot indicated, then it's not going to deploy. So anyways, that's one last thing. Now the major con that I thought that this had is that it's difficult to use your thumb to get the liner lock for this in order to close it. You have to really kind of get it in there in order to compress it and to put it down, as opposed to something like this is the Spyderco Persistence, which is the most famous budget knife that Spyderco makes is probably the Spyderco Tenacious, which is slightly bigger than this. This is the Persistence, like I said. But this one has, see how easy it is to see the liner lock, and there's a little groove right here, and if you can tell. But there's a little groove right there, so it makes it real easy to just go in there and then close the knife. I'll show it again. It's hard to do it from this angle. But yeah, just go in there and it's real easy. Now, if a knife is, you know, like a buck 110, right? You have to compress it using this back lock right here. Well, that's not a big deal that it doesn't have a groove because, you know, you just have to press on the back lock. Well, with this thing, you know, it doesn't really have a groove right here. So anyways, I just think that would have been the one thing that I would change about this, and I probably would carry this quite often if that change were to happen. If it was just a little bit more comfortable. And I know it's supposed to be more futuristic, but I think that comfort also is important as well. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, this is the Schrade SCX4, and I have also, this is the Sog Tomahawk, or the Fast Hawk rather, and I'm going to talk about the different sheaths on this, even though these aren't the same size. There are some similarities, like you can paracord wrap this like I have, and then this comes with a paracord wrap. And the steel on this is the 3 CR13 stainless steel. I also kind of tied a little knot on the end of this so that you can put a magnesium fire striker on it. I mean a ferro rod, and this way you have fire and cordage and cutting. So those are all three things that are great for survival. For a Sog Tomahawk, they have these little buttons, and then it releases really easily. It's easy to get the sheath out, and then you're good to go. And whenever you're done, you just put it back in there, and button them, and you're on your way. Has a little belt loop and everything. Well, this also has a little belt loop, but the buckles, and you might see this, they're on the top. So I guess that's supposed to be so that if this is attached to something like your belt, you can just easily bring this up and then use it in that manner. The only problem with that is that if you do this does come paracord wrapped. Also, the paracord wrappings is kind of loose, so I had to run it through hot water in order to kind of tighten these things up. So just that's a tip for y'all who get paracord wrap things that are stock and that you didn't wrap yourself. You just ran it through hot water. But anyways, it's kind of takes a little bit of extra effort to get it through the paracord wrappings. Whenever I first started using this, I actually cut my finger a little bit because I'm not used to. It was just a slight scratch or whatever, but I'm not used to a sheath that works in this manner. So be careful, and if you're using these types of objects, if you're not used to handling. Just be careful of using any sharp objects to begin with. But anyways, that's the drawback that I saw from that Tomahawk, from the SCAXE4. But other than that, I mean, I had a lot of fun chopping and thwacking things and handing to my buddies who chopped and thwacked things as well. And it has that little breacher in the back. And then this can go through concrete cylinders as well. So there are YouTube reviews out there that do some product gear testing like that. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about is this is the SC. Let's see here. They have names that are hard to remember. SCHF26. And this is a great little fixed blade knife. I was actually messing with this earlier, but you can take a ferro rod, and because of the spine of this, it has the angle that you need in order to make sure I'm not setting my computer on fire. In order to use this as a way of starting sparks, and because of that, and also I had this paracord wrapped around my leg to keep it to me, and once again, this means that I have a paracord for cordage, a knife, and fire inside this sheath. I have a big lighter, as well as a magnesium fire striker, and those three things, you know, having fire, having cordage, and having a knife. Those are all great things to have if you're, you know, stranded outside, you know, you're in a survival situation. Those are things that are difficult to replicate, but critical for survival. So anyways, back to the knife. There's jimping on the inside of the handle. There's jimping right here near the spine, and there's jimping on the spine as well. I can't say enough good things about this knife. The steel is the the 8 CR13 MOV, which is the same steel as is in things like the Spyderco Tenacious or in the Persistence. It's also in some of the Kershaw's more budget knives. So great steel, easy to sharpen, and holds its edge for a reasonable amount of time. Just a great knife, very comfortable. Loved it, right? And then we get to the sheath. And I guess that's how they're able to keep the cost of this knife so cheap, is because the quality of this is pretty low. There's a little button down there that's kind of starting to disappear in the nylon because the nylon's starting to tear. If you And I thought, honestly, I thought this would be more of an annoyance than it really was. But this is Velcro, and it's also it's kind of a cheap Velcro as well. I don't know all the different categories of Velcro, but whenever you lift up on this, you can probably see that there's this overhang as well that is starting to come up, even with light use, and that's just going to continue until you don't have any more Velcro, probably. So I kind of wish that they would have done something different. Either they, have a button like this has, and I like where the K-bar uses a button so that I could actually button it back if I don't want to use it. I like that option. But I like having a button. And yes, this does have a different sheath. So Kydex sheath is, or it's sort of hard plastic or fiberglass fiberglass, whatever. Those are all great. Although it does make a loud noise, like if you're trying to hunt or whatever. Like that could be a drawback if you're making big noise. But I don't know. Velcros also make noise. I guess this would be a good thing. This is also a K-bar. This is, these are the USMCs. This is what the Marines used. And that doesn't really make much of a sound, does it? If you use a button. I don't know. I don't know what you're using this knife to. I don't know what you need a knife for. I don't know if it's just for camping and having fun, or if it's for hunting, or whatever. But I'm still going to keep this in my camping bag and have fun with that. Same with these. These are great items just to have when you're outdoors. Once you get it out of the sheath, it's great. There's just slight annoyances, and like I said, there are I actually didn't mind it as much as I thought I would. The Velcro, and at the cost that these come at, it's not going to be a big deal. And also, at some point, I'm sure you could reach out to a sheath maker and have them make you a Kydex sheath for this if you really wanted to. But anyways, I had a fun time with this. Another thing I don't necessarily like about nylon sheaths also is that it can hold water. So just be careful of that too if you're outside and it gets rainy and wet and stuff. But I did like that it could hold things like fire starters. I really like that a lot, as well as everything about the knife. I really liked the knife a lot, like I said. But anyways, so those are just some items that Schrade is releasing for 2014. I thought I'd give some feedback on them as well, just in case Schrade wants to make slight alterations for the next time. I know everyone has different preferences, but I just wanted to share mine. And if you guys like these types of videos where I kind of ramble on about items and competitive options, please let me know and leave a comment in the comment box. Click the like button so I know to do more of these types of product comparisons for y'all. But anyways, thanks y'all for watching, and y'all have a great day, and remember, it pays to be prepared. Take care.